know I hadn't done nothing wrong. I was just trying to protect myself.
An Owensboro police officer out of surgery tonight. The man who shot him talking only to 14 News. That shooting happened early this morning, a few blocks from the Ohio River. Kentucky State Police tell us a man mistook the officer as a suspicious person. And we've been keeping you updated on this story all day. Let's get right to Randy Moore, who's heading up our live team coverage. Randy.
Yeah, Jackie, we're going to get to what can only be described as a fascinating interview in a moment with a man who shot a police officer this morning. But first, let's talk about that police officer and recap for you what exactly happened behind me early this morning. 23-year-old Zachary Morris grew up in Greenville in a family of law enforcement people. He's been with the Owensboro Police Department just 2 years, and tonight he is really lucky to be alive. It all happened just behind that privacy fence right behind me between the house and that camper. Here's what Kentucky State Police say. They say that Morris responded to a call of a suspicious person around 5:30 this morning. Once he arrived, someone matching the description took off. Morris chased him but lost him behind the houses. Now, Morris then started checking around that fenced-in area. At that point, the homeowner came outside with a pistol and shot Morris, striking him partially in his bulletproof vest and partially in the abdomen.
He was injured, even though he had a vest on. It doesn't guarantee you walk away from it. And in this case, it hit, fragmented, and it did enter his body.
Now, Morris is in good condition after emergency surgery at Owensboro Health, and Kentucky State Police say that he did discharge his weapon. They're not saying the order of the shots fired, who shot first. And as for the man, David Turley, 63 years old, the man who shot who fired the shot at the police officer, he was questioned and released. No charges filed at this time. Right after he was released, he talked to our own Katie Capusta. Katie, what did he have to say?
Yeah, Randy, David Turley told me he did what anyone would have done in that situation. He also tells me he wished it never happened, and he recounted what exactly happened up to that close call. It happened right here on David Turley's fence line.
I hear a commotion over in the very corner of the fence. So I see somebody standing there with a flashlight pointing it down at the ground like that. So I walk over to see what's going on.
He lives in this trailer in the backyard of his son's house.
As I get closer, pow, pow. And when he did, I had my weapon by my side, and I just pulled up and fired and started towards the ground trying to take cover. Police, drop your weapon now. Never heard nothing like that. Once they shot 2 times in my face, I had no choice. I was in fear of my life, and I returned fire. I could hear the sing of the bullet as it went by.
Turley said the man who turned out to be an officer shot at him twice and he returned fire 4 times. He had no idea anyone had been hit until more police units arrived.
I know I hadn't done nothing wrong. I was just trying to protect myself.
Officers took him in for questioning but released him this afternoon.
I'm sorry that I did what I had to do.
And Turley tells me he's very concerned about the officer.
I'm still worried about the officer's condition because I know that was not a good situation.
But he says he knew he did what he had to do to protect himself and his family.
I got 5 grandkids in this house. I'll lay my life down for every one of them.
Police have not determined if anyone will be charged in this incident, but they did confirm that Officer Morris did discharge his weapon. Randy?
That's his side of the story. We'll get the OPD side of the story, the Kentucky State Police investigation results a little bit later, but one thing that will hinder the investigation is no body cams to tell exactly what happened here, right?
Yeah, right. OPD does actually not issue body cams for their officers. Fortunately, that would have really told the story really well.
All right, Katie, thanks a lot. Of course, 14 News was here all day long. We were here right after this incident talking to people who heard the shots. Shaylee Clark has that part of the story.
Diana Lacefield says she was sitting right here in her living room drinking her coffee when she heard 4 shots. She came outside to see what was going on. That's when she said police told her to get back inside.
I come out the front door because I saw the police and lights and everything going through my window. And of course I'm gonna come out.
Lacefield tells me she wasn't surprised to see the red and blue lights, but she was surprised to hear what happened.
I seen it on the news and I started crying. That upsets me. I don't want people hurt.
She said it's not the first time she's heard shots and seen police in the neighborhood. She said the neighborhood is dangerous. Her neighbors agreed. She told me she owns guns herself because of that.
You can hear a lot going on from over here and you see a lot of cop cars. I respect the police, I really do.
OPD says while they do get calls to the neighborhood, they don't consider it a high crime area. In Owensboro, Shaylee Clark, 14 News.
And Owensboro Police did release a statement this evening on their Facebook page saying this has been a very tough day for the community and that they appreciate the thoughts and prayers for Officer Morris. Now, Jackie, we could be telling a very, very different story here this evening. Now, we don't want to downplay the fact that Officer Morris is in the hospital with a gunshot wound, but it could have been much worse. According to Turley, now this was somewhat of a shootout. The police have not confirmed that yet. We'll wait for their investigation. But again, this could have been tragic. Jackie?
What a story. Thank you, Randy.